in this deck that I have called the Big Bad Wolf. It is a wolf tribal deck with black splashed in to take advantage of the Graveyard Trespasser, and as well as giving us access to Binding the Old Gods. Since we are using all these snow sources for lands, it works really well with Blizzard Brawl. The main goal of the deck is taking advantage of the more expensive wolves, such as Avabruck Caretaker and the Volatile Arsonist. We're also using in black the Sarulf Realm Eater. This has the useful function whenever a permanent an opponent controls is put to a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Sarulf Realm Eater. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Sarulf has one or more +1/+1 counters, you may remove all of them. If you do, exile each other non-land permanent with mana value less than or equal to the number of counters removed this way. Now, this card does have the double-edged sword nature to it, that we do exile our own cards as well. So if we have, say, 2 counters on Sarulf Realm Eater, we'll exile any of our Sculptors of Winters, Outland Liberators, or Packleaders that we may have on the board, if we choose to activate. Now, this is a choose to, you don't have to. But the advantage is this is an exile, so against like the Enchantment Runes deck, for example, if you happen to force 2 of their permanents into their graveyard, get the 2 triggers of Sarulf here, you'll then be able to make it so that you'll be able to exile most of their deck, just because you have 2 counters on Sarulf. Now, because we are a werewolf deck, it's clear to say that we're using Tovolar. And Tovolar's ability of whenever we hit the opponent with any of our wolves or werewolves, we get card draw. It's too good not to run. We do have the Reckless Stormseeker in the deck, but we are also using the Cemetery Prowler, as this creature, when it enters the battlefield, you'll be able to exile any card from a graveyard, and you'll be able to reduce the mana cost of any spell you play by 1 for each of the if it shares a card type with one of the cards that's been exiled with the Prowler. And the Prowler also gets to exile things whenever it attacks as well. That's a 3/4 body with Vigilance for 3 mana. It seems like it's a solid enough to try in the deck. Now, because of the double green nature, it might be a little greedy trying this because of the fact that we do have black splashed into the deck. But I don't think it'll necessarily be too much of an issue, but we'll see how it works out. Well, that's a general rundown of the deck. We'll go ahead and hop into some games and see how well it works. Alright, so off the opener, this is definitely mulligan. We have the wrong kind of land colors for what's in hand. This one we'll keep. I think we'll go ahead and put... It's actually a little bit of a tough choice. I mean, we have the mana for Cemetery Prowler with the form of these lands, so we could keep that as a 3/4 body, but I think it's more important to keep Stormseeker. And I kind of want to keep the Blizzard Brawls as removal options, so we'll go ahead and do that. We're going to just lead with the tap land, because that way we can potentially play Stormseeker on turn 3. Okay, so opponent has foretold a card. Question is it a counter spell, is it a burn spell, or is it a draw spell? Alright. One of those, I'm assuming, is a counter spell there. So we'll go ahead and go for the Stormseeker right now. Just kind of hope the opponent doesn't have any burns. So that way, you know, we can hold up Tamiyo Safekeeping for the turns that they may have the burn. Lots of cards being foretold. If they're playing Evolving Wilds, they're probably the mill deck. So some of those might be double up spells. Alright, opponent's going to try to Fading Hope. We give it Safekeeping. Get a nice hit of damage in. So I'm pretty sure we're versus the Tasha City's Laughter combo deck. Because they're running these Evolving Wilds. It's kind of unfortunate. We don't have any other threats to throw on board. Like, if they were to play that crab, we definitely have the answers here, but that's their only permanent or creature I think they bother with. Then again, I say permanent, because then I realize that sometimes this deck runs the Planeswalker Ronin Will. Alright, so opponent apparently does have combo, or they're just wasting these just to show off what kind of deck they are. Because this has to be Tasha City's Laughter for them to have a chance to win here. Alright, Prismari Command does answer the board here. This is probably what they were trying to do last turn with this Galvanic Iteration, but they just didn't have the mana available to them because the Evolving Wilds comes into play tapped. Unfortunately, we're just not drawing our threats, so we're going to have to wait until we draw one. No, get rid of the ring grab. Okay, so expressive iteration to expressive iteration. We're in a really awkward state just because we're just looking for a threat to put on board. Here's a good threat. In order for them to target this, they have to discard a card. Should actually grab the red source with that. Where is there? This Galvanic Iteration. Exile that. I could have gone for exiling the crab to try to get the extra point of damage on them, but by going for the Galvanic Iteration, we're denying them one of their duplicate spells, which is more important since they're a combo mill deck. Now, if I had grabbed, like, the crab, we would have made it so that way we did have lethal on our attack. But, again, this is just a case of, if they had the combo, we would just lose instantly. So I want to make sure that they had less chances of doing this combo here. This is probably another duplicate spell here. Yep, there's another dual strike. So that's a lot of cards out of our deck. Actually, not too many on that first mill. Because they hit our high cost cards in each of those mills. We actually ended up getting the Arsonist. We actually do have lethal. See, we go to our graveyard, exile this. Puts them at 1. I'll just go ahead and play Binding the Old Gods and destroy one of these treasures just to limit their amount of mana they have access to. Because we can always just choose to, I think, fail to find on the forest. So that way we don't trim our deck any more cards. Alright, we forced the opponent to actually give up their Maddening Cacophony. We will actually go ahead and choose to find the land. Play the land. The reason why I chose to find the land is... it was purely because we had to try to reduce our odds of drawing another land off top, but that's lethal right there. Submit 0. Choose you. Alright, this is actually a much better hand than the first hand. So we'll keep this. Okay, so we're probably versus mono white or red white. Which one isn't exactly clear at the moment. Alright. Let's go for Tovolar. No tax. Alright, Brutal Cathar for the opponent. Looking to get that black source in so that way we can kill the Cathar there. Alright, we'll rush the Liberator in for the attack. Because I doubt the opponent would be willing to trade against the Brutal Cathar there. Oh my gosh, alright. Just not drawing the black sources here. So one of the things we can do is we could use this as a blocker, use Safekeepings to prevent the trade. Get back one of our creatures. Are we dead though? So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, opponent doesn't come in. See, if we attack with this, we can kill this, but we actually get double blocked and die, so not worth it. Because these have first strike, so they're able to multi-block kill our creature. Alright, Spellbinder, taxing spells. Just not going to draw the black source here. But I think at this point we're just dead. Yep. Looking very much like we're dead here. Because even if we get a black source for binding the old gods, no, we draw more old gods. Well, for some fun, let's just go ahead and shoot this out of the sky. Hit you. Should have done this last turn. What does this even do again? Put 2+1/+ encounters in each permanent you control. It's actually safer for us to kill the little guy instead of the that one, but we're gonna scoop it up. We can't do anything, and opponents just... I don't even think they care to finish it. I think they're just gonna have fun just playing with this, just sitting there. I think I may need to put more black sources into the deck because I'm not drawing them. This one's too risky to keep, so I'll let mulligan. We'll keep this one. We're gonna put Arsonist on bottom. Okay, another land and pass. Alright, turn 2 Intrepid Adversary. Not too scary, but it is a life linker. Just because of the colors the opponent's in, I'm going to actually hold off a turn before playing Reckless Stormseeker. That way we can get the immediate value with a Blizzard Brawl or the Tamiyo Safekeeping here. Alright, opponent's going to come in with the Adversary. We'll take the hit. Alright. We'll bring out Tovolar. And we're actually going to just pass the turn. We're going to hold up Tamiyo Safekeeping against the opponent. Because I imagine they're going to have some kind of, like, removal. And if they just go for counter here attack, we'll just use Blizzard Brawl and just kill off their threats. Yeah, see, there's the removal. Keep the Tovolar safe. Now, even if they try to attack him with Adversary, we have the ability to still block because this gives it indestructible as well. I'll get our black source this time. We'll use the Blizzard Brawl. Nice as well, opponent. Oh, we'll kill off the Luminarch Aspirant then. And this should give us some card draw. Both our creatures are indestructible there. This is just the opponent, I guess, going for preventing some damage as well as denying us a card draw. One of the things about Blizzard Brawl, how it's worded, even though the opponent was able to prevent us from getting the fight part of the card, it does actually still get the ability to punch the damage through. I mean, not the damage, but the sorry, I said that wrong. Gives it still the indestructible. All right, we'll bring out Sarulf. And we will also bring out Sculptor of Winter here. With Sarulf being on the board, we now actually have 3 wolves on board. So Tovolar will force a flip on our turn, even if the opponent plays something. Okay. The opponent attacks him with that. We just chump block here with the Sculptor. Go for Stormseeker. Seems the opponent has some kind of trick on their side. I imagine it's a Valor Stance. We'll attack it. Opponent's just choosing to take it all, right? Let's see, 4... Alright, we'll just let the damage go through. This way we potentially play whatever we draw off the top. Didn't have enough to make it lethal with the pump from Tovolar. Oh, I just realized the game tapped our black source to play this freaking auto tapper. Why would you choose to tap the one black source over all these extra red-green sources? It's so stupid. Oh, wait, no, wait. I'm being dumb. I'm being dumb. I can't. No, yeah, no. Actually, I should complain. I was thinking, it's like, oh no, we played Sarulf that turn. No, we played Stormseeker. So that was the game being dumb, and I think we died for that because that's gonna hit for 10. Oh no, they're one short. They're one short. Oh, they have Snakeskin Veil, which makes it lethal. Yeah. Oh, we got done in by Auto Tapper. I honestly think this was a win. This was just Auto Tapper messing with us. Because again, we got our black mana tapped for auto tapping this, and Auto Tapper said, "Oh yeah, you don't need that one black source." Oh, Auto Tapper. It's a little awkward since we have two of our black sources here, and so we actually can't play these Tovolar. But I'm gonna risk the keep since we start with Binding anyways. So any land draw allows us to play Binding and guarantees us the Tovolar. Alright. Acquisition Expert will give up the Blizzard Brawl. I want to keep the backup Tovolar. Because I imagine they're just going to use a kill spell here. If they don't, well, we can just start attacking in and potentially getting the card draw back. Discard, discard. Choosing to keep the lands, that way we can just play Binding, hit Acquisition Expert, so that way we can get the drawback. This also means that now we have enough lands to... really? Again with the Goblinks? Alright, opponent. Well. I'll get more card draw. The opponent may have hit our hand a lot here, but they actually aren't really getting ahead of us here. Not at the moment. Here I was thinking I might want to hold that land in case they play another one of these Acquisition Experts, but the I don't think the opponent has a way to pull it back here. We'll hold on to both these lands. With the turning to night, these getting 4 toughness, they can't even go land and sacrifice a creature. We'll get rid of this. Because this is lethal. And there we go. We beat Mono Black. Alright, we'll keep this hand. Unfortunately, we never seem to get the 1-drops in our openers. But... or our 2-drops. But I do actually like how this one's looking for against a control deck. Alright, we'll go for the Trespasser. So if the opponent now tries to target this, they'll have to discard a card. It was a little bit of a risk going for it there, because the opponent could have been holding up counter magic. So yeah, in order for them to just bounce that back to our hand, it costs them discarding a card. We'll replay it. Get rid of the Memory Deluge. We're not getting damage in yet, but we are definitely hurting the opponent's board state already. Let's go for Stormseeker. Move to combat. I'm not going to put Sculptor of Winter on board, because seeing the white there lets me know that the opponent is possibly just going to Doomscar the board here.
I'm not overconfident. You're just my judgment is fine.
We're just going to use Binding of the Old Gods to get rid of the Wanderer. Now we can keep the pressure on the opponent. Get rid of the Memory Deluge. Because again, if they're using single target on this Glutton, it does require them to discard cards. It's a shame that they went Wanderer to Wanderer here.
I am almost sad to see.
Let's see, get ourselves another red source. Play Trespasser. And we're just going to pass turn. I want to hold up the Safekeeping.
We've got the edge in this fight.
Now I can't actually attack in because it can activate a Hollow Storm Giant and block. But if I actually do attack in, this will have Death Touch. Alright, make them pay the ward cost. They chose not to pay the ward cost. Nice job, opponent. So they chose to exile a card to make it so that they could pay that for less. But they forgot to actually make it so that way they could, you know, discard to actually remove this. We'll bring Sculptor down. I don't want to actually put Avabruck onto the board yet. Because I think that they chose not to discard that card because it's actually a board wipe. Alright. Well, we're going to force them to have the board wipe. Bring down Caretaker. So all of our things have hexproof, so they can't target them. We don't attack in this turn, because again, they can just activate this and block. Alright, it's Farewell, which means it's Exile, so Safekeeping doesn't do anything to help us here. Alright. We go wide, boys. So unless they top deck another Farewell, we'll be able to use Safekeeping to protect important cards. Alright, let's go ahead and attack in. That's a lot of their mana in order to do that. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9. We'd be short a little bit. Alright. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this to give it trample. Use the Safekeeping. That way we keep the Tovolar, we kill the Hollow Storm Giants, and we get card draw. We were a little short for going for the lethal if we went to the other two. I'm fairly certain that was the case. And the opponent had scooped it up, yep. So we actually beat the white-blue control deck. That's all about using board wipes. So, I mean, surprisingly, they only drew one Farewell, but it was still a lot of targeted removal from our opponent. And it was all thanks to Graveyard Trespasser, forcing the opponent to have to discard extra cards whenever they tried to interact with it. Bidbag Wolf was the idea that we were going to be playing these large werewolf payoffs with a bunch of these 3-drops. The only problem with the deck is the mana wasn't quite coming in, and we also did change out to have Evolving Wilds in the main board in the middle of the games, because we were just having some trouble getting some of these black sources for just the few black cards we were running. But the main issue that we were having was that it just was unfortunately running a little too slow, and we came across mono white multiple times, and Binding the Old Gods kept getting taxed out of being able to be played. So it was a fun deck concept. It was, when we actually did draw the lands at a decent rate compared to the card, like the earlier cards, it worked really well. The problem is it stumbled around too many times. So unfortunately this one was a bit of a shame.
Thank you for watching the video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more content. If you'd like to join me while I stream, you can find me on Twitch, the link below. I hope to see you again in the next video, and have a nice one.